My name is Martin Droz. I'm the Associate Vice President for Planning, Design, and Construction for Temple University.
James Templeton. I'm the Assistant Vice President and University Architect for the university.
I'm Kate Wingard-Pladen, Senior Associate Dean and Director of Architecture in the Tyler School of Art and Architecture here at Temple University.
Today we're going to present to you a couple of recent developments on campus and also talk about some projects that are under construction and some that are in design that will be coming up. I am excited because I'm actually a Temple alum and I graduated from the architecture program, and now I'm part of what's happening here on campus and the future development. So I'm very excited to be here. What we have up right now is the map that shows some of the recent development that I spoke about and stuff that's in design and under construction. So just to orient you, the green that's going up north and south is Broad Street. You can see that most of the recent development has been east of Broad, but we are also now developing some projects west of Broad Street. What we also want to emphasize is that recently we have been creating a lot of landscape and hardscape upgrades on campus, which really have tied together the campus. And it's a way to think about not just the inside experience of the students, but also how they experience campus as a whole. So we're very excited about that, and we have some more of those coming up as well.
One of the most interesting new projects that we've built in the last few years is the Aramark Star Complex. It's physical and occupational therapy labs for the College of Public Health, but it also incorporates recreation as well as athletic spaces in the main building there you see on the screen. It also includes a large gymnasium for recreation, but the most exciting space is this large field house that we built in the back. This is used by athletics for indoor practices for soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, and definitely, as you can tell, football. But it's also used in the evenings by club sports, and it's really been a game changer for both recreation and athletics on the campus. If you hadn't been on campus in years and maybe are a Fox alum, we reimagined Speakman Hall recently when we did the renovations to 1810 and incorporated them into the Fox School. And if you haven't been on campus in 20 or 30 years, you might not know that that's Alter Hall, which is the main building for the Fox School of Business.
This is the walkway behind Speakman Hall, across from 1810 Lea Crosswalk, and also in the distance you can see the entrance to the Fox School of Business. I really like this image. When we think about why we're building out campuses, it's to support the academic mission. And in this case, because Fox and the School of Tourism and Hospitality Management occupy all three of these spaces, the threshold with this bridge is into a space before you enter the building. So the buildings feel unified. Students not only have a sense of arrival, but they have a sense of belonging in place.
So this complex has not only been reimagined for this amazing Fox School of Business program, but it's also served as the catalyst for this new landscape efforts that we're doing across campus. And it's just at the heart of campus. So it's really a world-class entry into the main part of the campus.
By this point, you will know that we have a new library on campus, the Charles Library, which has put all of the books of campus into the center and put this as the kind of symbolic and social center of the campus. It's just across 13th Street, west of the Bell Tower. This is really important both to the academic mission, but also to campus identity. It was a partnership between Snøhetta and Stantec, two world-class architecture firms, and it's become a really important signature building in the city of Philadelphia. It serves not just as a library, it's both a learning center and a place of knowledge production, which is like a lab or a studio space. It does have books. There's always this question about where the books reside. This is the 4th floor, which has books and areas for students to sit and read. There are classrooms and study spaces for group learning that students can sign out, both on this floor and on some of the other floors.
The building really has been a game changer for the university, sitting right in the heart of the campus. It's architecturally just stunning and has really raised the bar on all future developments for us. But also, like we were implying with the Fox Business School, when we approach new buildings, we aren't just doing the building itself, we're also thinking about all the landscape around it And all these plazas and Paulette Walk and Leocoris Walk were all redone as part of the lead up to the grand opening of the library, because we knew how spectacular the library was going to be. And it is spectacular and award winning. So we're very proud of it. Another wonderful project that many of you were familiar with the existing buildings, what used to be known as Anderson Gladfelder, now Mazer Gladfelder. It's the college, mostly for the College of Liberal Arts, but there's also large lecture halls on the lower floor. If you remember this building, it was a very inhospitable entry. You might not even know where the entrance is, especially if you're coming from the east side. It's what I always refer to as the most unfriendly major entrance to a university in America. If you were coming from the train station or in the parking lot, it felt like you were walking into a loading dock and then a service tunnel. And then the plaza, giant plaza that no one even knew was there or couldn't find the way to get to it. So luckily there was a roof leak that inspired us to not just put back what was there, but reimagine the entire space and really make this a true Eastern gateway along the lines of the Charles Library in terms of iconic architecture. So what we did is we created wonderful landscape spaces, new plazas, opened up the deck, removed most of the deck, not all of it, but much of the deck over the walkway, and then inserted this beautiful new lobby in the middle of one of the other courtyards, because the College of Liberal Arts, that whole complex didn't have a real lobby. It was embarrassing that it didn't have a lobby. It had like large corridors to get to the classrooms. And the new dean, when he came in, saw the Charles Library and said, "I want one of those." So that's what we gave him, a slightly smaller version, but really spectacular and very iconic. And you can see inside, it's beautiful. We even kept some of the original architecture. You can see the stone walls, but now they have a space for events. They have a space for students to just hang out in. It's filled all day during the day. It's really a wonderful addition. And then again, it's an iconic piece of architecture on the campus. You can see it all the way across campus. But to get to the terrace, one of the problems with the terrace, it was inaccessible. So we added this beautiful monumental staircase that comes down to the food area. So you can grab your food and go up and you actually use the terrace. And then the terrace itself is a quad in the sky. It really is a new green, campus green, where there wasn't one before. We're an urban university. We have to find green space and create great social spaces wherever we can. So this was a great opportunity to do that. And the students, this is an old photo, it's very lush now. And the students have named this Eden. So we're very proud of that fact. But again, as Martin originally said, it's the landscape projects that have kind of redefined the experience of campus and have woven campus together. Founders Garden is a space that was there before, but it was getting a little dilapidated. So we had a major renovation project where we not only improved the paving and the lighting and even some of the landscape and added seats and social areas, but we also created this iconic sculpture and fountain elements that really have transformed that part of campus. That right there is next to the Charles Library. That is the, one would argue, the pedestrian heart of our campus, right at Leocoris Walk and Paulette Walk. And that sculpture is so popular, especially at graduation time. The queue to take photos in front of it in your graduation gown goes down Paulette Walk and down Broad Street. It is such a long line. We're pretty confident this was something we needed on campus, and yeah, we're really happy with it. Continuing with the landscape projects, if you remember ever taking classes in Ritter Complex, the walkways leading to the Ritter and Ritter Annex were in terrible shape. They needed to be replaced. So we continued with our landscape standards down there, but also Founders Garden was so popular, leadership wanted another fountain. So we created this plaza with this unique fountain, but we also created like a mini quad area. So it's a series of plazas, quads, and then also just a wonderful walking space that was much safer than before. And then of course, very lush and very green and used by everyone. And most of those green spaces there are actually stormwater rain gardens, so it's also incredibly sustainable. All our landscape projects are. Most of them incorporate stormwater management so that we're not flooding the city of Philadelphia with stormwater. We're actually maintaining it on our on site, and then eventually evaporates or trickles trickles away. But what a great space. Open to the community. The students use it, the community uses it, and it's been very, very successful.
Around the same time that we were doing that Lear Course Walk South project, we were doing interior renovations to Ritter Hall Annex. And so we took it as an opportunity to improve the experience, again, not only from the inside, but also the outside and that connection. And so we upgraded the entrances. And you can see the top pictures of the before. So, you know, you probably wouldn't ever have known that this was Ritter Hall Annex that you were entering to previously. And you can see the bottom photos of what we implemented. So the entrances are more welcoming, easily identifiable, so people know now where they're coming. And on the interior, we renovated Ritter Hall for the College of Education. We consolidated their operations to the first few floors, and we upgraded the spaces. So you can see here is the lobby, the before and the after, with just some changing of the finishes, bringing in some brighter colors, warmer colors. It really changed that space for them. And as well as here we have an example of an interior space, a corridor. This is actually the same corridor. By making the corridor wider, providing more light, more lighter colors, we improved that space for the students and the faculty.
Another thing that happens when you think about the campus landscape and the buildings together, which we really appreciate, is that the organization of schools and colleges start to be made present in the physical plant of the campus. This is, at this point, a relatively old change, but a really significant one. On the right is the Tyler building, which houses all of the art programs in the Tyler School of Art and Architecture. On the left is the architecture building, which houses the built environment disciplines, architecture, landscape architecture, planning, and all of the and allied programs. And in terms of campus planning, this is really important. Martin noted that he's an alum and did not go to school in this building. The building has also been a changer in terms of making our disciplines present. I would say that on campus, just about any built project includes architects, engineers, and landscape architects and allied disciplines who are alum, some of them firm leaders.
And one other important note, if you hadn't been to campus in years, we get this question a lot, is the entire Tyler School of Art moved from Elkins Park into this massive new building. So we don't have Elkins Park anymore. This is the Tyler campus now. Oh, it's fair. I wasn't sure.
So, I said this was the architecture building was from 2011. The Tyler building was from 2008, and recently in 2021, we had to upgrade the Tyler School. Again, something that happens across campus. We saw it at Ritter Annex, and we're seeing it even in some of the newer, and we saw it in the Fox School, making spaces that to accommodate growth. Once you have architecture and things are present on campus, growth is naturally follows. And this is some images of the Stella Elkins Tyler Gallery in the basement of the Tyler School. That's on the right-hand side, looking towards photography. On the left-hand side is the Art Education and Community Arts Department, which was kind of tucked away in a basement in the back because it had not been part of the original plan for the school. When Tyler moved from Elkins Park to the main campus, the building accommodated all of the studio arts programs, but didn't accommodate some of the other programs, like we saw architecture in a building. It did not accommodate art history and art education. And so by renovating, we've given more clarity and identity to these academic programs.
These renovations often give us the opportunity to create new social areas. So these wooden benches and amphitheaters, if you will, are great new additions that weren't there originally. But through time we realize that it's a need that the students want, and it really helps invigorate the spaces. So we often do that in renovation projects.
We have a new project that's in design right now. We're in schematic design for this project. It's going to be a new home for the Klein College of Media and Communication, and it will also have spaces for the Center for the Performing and Cinematic Arts, CPCA. CPCA is a college that's made up of the music, dance, theater, and film and media arts. So all of Klein College of Media and Communication programs will move into this new building, and theater, film, and media arts will move into this building as well. And so it's going to be located on Broad Street, right on the corner of Broad and Paulette Walk, a very prominent location. And so we're taking this opportunity to create a state-of-the-art facility for these schools right on Broad Street. And the image that's on here right now is the existing conditions, and this is the vision for the building. We're trying to create a really state-of-the-art facility and celebrate these schools. So you can see that there's a lot of glass in the building, so that what we're trying to do is celebrate the programs, put them on display on Broad Street, also creating public spaces with a plaza right there on Paulette Walk and Broad Street, and with brand new lobbies that are welcoming and really celebrate these programs. And this is an existing view on Broad Street looking north. This is the vision for the building. So we're really excited about this design and project, and so again, we're in design on this project and look forward to breaking ground sometime next year.
So another exciting project on Broad Street, we had, as part of the landscape master plan, had developed landscape improvements and crosswalk and safety improvements for Broad Street as sort of the last rollout of the landscape master plan. But it turns out the city of Philadelphia had similar thoughts, and they approached us about teaming on a infrastructure grant that they won. And we are now going to implement with them a lot of the safety and sidewalk, crosswalk improvements. But Temple is also going to add more to it to really brand Broad Street, not just make it safer, which is priority one, but also make it transformational, and that your experience on Broad Street, you'll know that you're coming through Temple's campus. So this is a view looking north from Cecil B. Moore Avenue currently, and we plan this to turn into this, with beautiful new safer crosswalks, new traffic lights, but medians down the middle of Broad Street, which has actually already been started south of campus. But we're going to work with the city on planting the medians. And then, of course, you can see the Temple branding that'll really make it spectacular when you come to campus. Here's another view. This is at Paulette and Broad. So the new building that Martin just mentioned, the new Klein College CPCA building, will be on your right-hand side there at Paulette Walk. So this is just a look at what the existing conditions are, and this is what's being proposed as a new, safer, raised crosswalk in the middle of Broad to slow the cars down, beautify the space, and then certainly Temple brand it.
We have a project that's under construction right now. It is going to be the new home for the College of Public Health. Currently, the College of Public Health is spread out amongst several campuses and several buildings. So now that we have the new Charles Library up and running, we're going to repurpose Paley Hall for the new home for the College of Public Health. So it'll be a renovation in addition to the building. And what you see up on the screen now is the existing condition, and this is the vision for the new building. So you can see we're really reimagining Paley Hall and bringing it up to a state-of-the-art facility.
Yeah, and as Martin said, we didn't tear down Paley Hall. We just stripped the facade off and used the existing structure, and now currently are adding structure to it to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit taller and longer.
And this is the view from the Mazer Gladfelter Terrace existing, and that's the vision for the new building. So this is a view of what the lobby is going to look like. And so this is going to be the healthiest building on campus. We're not only going for LEED certification, which we do on all of our new construction and major projects, but we're also going for WELL certification. And the difference is where LEED focuses on the systems of the building, making sure that they're efficient. WELL focuses on the health of the occupants. And one of the main priorities of WELL is provide daylight to as much of the occupants in the building as possible. So you can see here in this photo, we are trying to do that. We're trying to really create a day-lit atmosphere. And so that's hard to do in a former concrete building. So what we did was create an atrium in the center of the building that goes from the ground floor up to the top floor. and provided windows, south-facing windows, and that now is bringing a lot of daylight into the building. And you can see the lobby is going to be really well lit, and the lobby also will function as multi-use space that can hold events. It can be a place where students gather, coordinate, hang out, collaborate.
So this lobby too is not just serving the College of Public Health. There are several large classrooms on the first floor that will also be shared with the university. So everyone from the university is coming in and out of the building at some point. So it was important that this lobby be really impactful.
And this is a view of that atrium that I was just mentioning. And one of the things to note, again, with the wellness factor is a central stair that really invites the users of the building to use the stair instead of the elevators. Another wellness aspect that we're incorporating into the building is these wellness cafes. And so these are areas where people can go during the day and get away from their desk, take a wellness break. With that connection that we've been talking about, the exterior, interior, we're strategically locating them in spots where they have views to the outside. So this particular one, you have a view out to where the Charles Library building is. And we have a short video, short animation of the building. I'll note a couple of spaces that we didn't see still images of that are going to be unique and new spaces on campus. One of them is a simulation center where we're simulating spaces that the students will work at in the real world. So things like a row house, a park setting, there's an ambulance as well in there, hospital room settings. There's also a teaching kitchen, which will be a nutrition center for the school to teach nutrition. That concludes our presentation. So if you haven't been on campus recently, you probably should make a visit because there's been a lot of changes. And I'll just note, a lot of the projects that you saw here came out of the campus development plan from 2014, and we're currently underway on a new campus development plan that will be the vision of Temple for the next 10 to 20 years. So we're excited about that process as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.